Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy III. The last part, Kenny's computer exploded while we got the Invincible, and now we're in Fargabaad, a village of Dark Knights, really. Technically, I think Magic Knights.
Dark Nuts? Oh, Dark Nuts.
It's not Zelda. And this village is the first place you can actually buy equipment for the Magic Knight at, so you want to do that. However, there's another way you can go about it without having to purchase anything. Though one thing I do in a moment is go down to the weapon shop and buy a Yoichi bow. You will know why later on in the part.
Because Medusa arrows, right?
Yes, and I do need something to fire those with, obviously, and the Yoichi bow is just really the best choice for it. Because it's more powerful than anything in the past, and it's just plain better. Also, note, that little patch of grass up there, I believe, has an elixir in it. However, there is no way to get to it as far as I know. So that's really stupid.
That's not nice. How dare. How do you know it has an elixir on it?
I think someone did some, like, data searching or something. I forget the exact specifics, but I do recall there being an elixir in there. Either way, as you may have seen earlier, there was someone in the forest because there is actually a secret passageway to get into that little woods to our right here. And the moment we go behind the waterfall, secret behind the waterfall. Let's talk to this guy. He is searching for someone worthy of the Kiku Blade, and he fights us because he's a shinobi. 1100 HP, 1100, 4400 XP, 4,000 gil, conceal potion, that's about it. Just physically attacking you should do pretty well.
That's a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent amount. If you're under level 30, he can be kind of annoying, but I'm fine at this point.
Oh, Yuffie's a descendant of the shinobi.
But for beating him, we do in fact get that Kikuichi Manji blade he was talking about, which is a dark sword. When I change someone's stats in a moment, that will come in handy. Because you're really going to want a Dark Knight, a Magic Knight rather, for stuff that's coming up. However, we still need an armor for it and such. Thankfully, there's this little patch down here that has high potions, demon mail, and demon shields if you want to use that for some reason. It is at this point I go sell some stuff off screen and change my classes around a bit.
The demon equipment gives me nightmares.
Because of 4?
And 9.
Yeah. What I am going to be doing is actually not until after something. I am completely thinking ahead, aren't I?
Probably.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking ahead. My bad. This happens. Someone mentioned, though, that there is more equipment here in the Fargabaad cave, so let's check this place out. This is basically secret passageway heaven. Oh, no, I already did do it. Ark is now a Magic Knight. It has the Kikuichi Manji blade on and the demon armor. That's about it for right now. The power ring, I think, went to Lunith. Finding our way around the passageways is annoying, but thankfully we get a Kotetsu and an Ashura, both of which, if I recall, or at least the Kotetsu at least, is a better weapon, and thus will be going on his left hand.
Usually Kotetsu is not the better one, I think.
It is in this case.
Actually, I think maybe it isn't 4.
I do believe all the enemies in here are off the top of my head are the exact same as the ancient ruins, so we're not fighting anything new in here really at all. It's just annoying finding your way around.
So, there's dark swords, but there's no light swords. That's pretty interesting. So there's no, like, X-Cal or anything?
I'm not going to say anything about that in detail, but there are swords that are considered holy elemental. But we do want to exit and re-enter just so we can grab a Thor's hammer, which I sell off screen because it's useless to me. Oh, wait, there are 2 new enemies in here. First off, you go ahead.
These are the Hanyuls. They have 1600 HP, 320 EXP, and 1100 gil. They're weak to dark swords.
And then there's the Balfree, 1620 HP, 320 XP, 1050 gil. Can steal a potion. It divides when hit with a non-dark sword or inflicted with paralysis. That's about it, really. I do recall they are fairly powerful, so watch out if anyone's HP drops below, like, I'd say 900. But overall, nothing too bad. Though, fun fact, in the DS version, this thing's name is Valifor.
Huh.
As in the same thing that was Yuna's first summon, which I think is some sort of, like, Baron of Hell or something.
Hell? It comes from heaven.
I don't remember. You
Ifrit.
think I know mythologies? Funny. Either way, at this point, I bought that Yoichi bow, and I also went and bought 2 feathered hats over at the Star, because those will be coming handy in actually a good chunk of time, but I want to do it now anyway. And now our next goal is the Cave of Darkness that I think Une told us about, where the Earth Fang is located, which is actually not too far away from the statues I showed off earlier. Basically, instead of going west here at the desert, you head northeast into a fairly long chain of mountain jumping. Also, fun fact, the Invincible will actually attack airborne enemies for you.
So the next enemy on our list is the Ice Fry, which is also called the Frost Fly. 325 HP, 960 XP, and 430 gil. They absorb ice and wind, and they are weak to fire.
Nothing too tough, just physical attacking you should be good. Sadly, I do think the Invincible's attack, either it's very weak or it's divided amongst enemies. I forget the specifics. It's not really worth mentioning overall, aside from the fact that it just happens, because you don't really do too much with it. But yeah, this next little section here is actually very annoying, because it can't be a straight path for us to get to the Cave of Darkness. No! It's a very long chain of spiraling around these mountains to get to the center. Don't like this that much at all, just because it takes so long. Especially if you get random battles during it, which you kind of have to.
That's really dumb how you can only go over, like, a certain bit of mountains.
It's gameplay story segregation, I think.
I still can't forgive it.
Or it might actually have to do with either the weight of the ship pulling it down or winds being too powerful up higher. So they can't do it for too long. By the way, now we have our next enemy, Chimeras. 350 HP, 1200 XP, 475 gil. Can steal a potion. That's about it. I believe basically all the enemies in this area, including the Ice Fry, you're actually originally supposed to run into near Dorga's house. But at this point, I'm too overpowered for them, so I just kind of killed them in one shot. By the way, the Cave of Darkness is just down there, but we still have a bit to go in this little maze.
Why did they do this?
I don't know. Honestly, this entire section here is my least favorite part of the game, including the Cave of Darkness, which I think is probably the hardest part of the game.
Worse than the...
One thing I recommend... Hey, that's a spoiler. One thing I can say about this, be at least level 33 before you go in here. I wanted to be about level 36 to 38, so I went right in the middle, just for the sake of being safe, because I think it had to do with like agility bonuses or something. And also, the moment I enter, I also do a class change. Lunith is now a hunter. You might be wondering why I went with a hunter. Hunters are the best bow users in the game, basically, so it's for the Medusa arrows. He's in the back row, has the power ring, the flame mail, which is why I got that, and one of the 2 feathered hats. Once I leave this area, I will change him back to a knight, or actually when we get to the boss, rather.
I just absolutely love the fact that the overworld sprites change depending on what class you are. I wish 5 did that. That'd be wonderful.
That would be a lot of work, though, for that game, because a lot of these sprites are also used for NPCs. The one thing I can say for a fact, though, keep that feathered hat around after you change him back to whatever you want him to be, because it's just better to do that. Also, talk to this guy here, and he dies. But he also gives you a second Kotetsu, so now you can have 2 of those on your Magic Knight if you want to. If I recall, what he already has on is more powerful, though. I should mention that at this point, I don't think Ark is ever going to go back to being a Karateka, though. I think he's a Magic Knight for basically the rest of the game until a certain thing happens.
I don't even know what that certain thing is.
Oh boy, 2 new enemies.
The next enemy is Vasago. Vasago, 720 HP, 320 XP, and 1150 gil. They're weak to dark swords. They drop high potions.
Kronos has 1550 HP, 320 XP, 1000 gil. Steal a potion from it, and it divides one hit with nothing that's not an ancient sword or dark blades. In fact, that's like 80% of the enemies here, I should mention. This area is annoying, and I don't like it. And at this point, I think aside from maybe... No, not even your next... Actually, yeah, except for your next enemy. We've basically seen everything in here, I think. I think there might be one enemy I didn't get to show off, but it's probably another splitter anyway. Just do the same stuff as usual. And yeah, that's why the Medusa bow is awesome. It petrifies the enemy in one shot if it hits, basically meaning they die. Sadly, unlike I think Final Fantasy IV, you can only have arrows on in stacks of 20 at a time, so once you start running low, you have to re-equip another set.
In the DS version, you only need one, right?
Yeah, DS version, you only need to buy one of an arrow, and you have infinite amounts of it after that.
And in 4, you can give them in stacks of 99.
All right, cool. So I didn't remember that correctly. Good.
How do you not remember that? 4 is your favorite game.
It is my favorite game of the
Final
series,
Fantasy.
but it's been about 2 years since I last played it because 4 and 9 are those games that I absolutely love, but I kind of play sparingly just to enjoy it more. 7 is the game I go back to the most often just because I find it not the most accessible due to I think the material system is a bit beginner antagonistic. Easily the simplest for me to go back to. There's also a lot of dead end secret passageways in this place, by the way.
I felt that way about 6. Ooh, Genji equipment. Oh boy.
He's really good for Magic Knights, so that all basically goes to him. And he needs it anyway, because before this he only has demon armor, which means he only has one piece of armor on. Also, the warp spell is really good for this area, because it allows you to go back just one floor. In fact, I really like the warp spell in this game in general, if you want to use it more, because it allows you to go back any amount of floors you wish. The biggest issue with this place is that it's kind of like the, what was the name of the road at the end of Final Fantasy II that led you into Pandemonium? I forget. It's basically this game's equivalent to that in terms of like
Demon's Road? Wait, that's 4.
Either way, that place. Because this place is long and has one hell of an encounter rate. There we go, second Kiku. The Kiku Ichimonji is the most powerful Dark Sword at this point. My bad. I forget stuff sometimes, and it's been a while since I recorded this, obviously. Though we are making good time on this compared to Chrono Trigger. I said that before, I'll say it again, because we're at part 9 when we started recording this. What would you say, about not even a month ago?
I think we started, like, I think it was before break, I think. So.
No, I recorded this over break. I think we...
So then we started, like, maybe 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, and we're already at the 75% mark of the game. So we're making good time on this compared to both this and Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 1, I think took us a bit too.
2 didn't take too long, did it?
2 I think we did pretty well. Genji shield, useless because I hate shields in this game.
Rip. Shields are wonderful in 6.
Yeah, especially a certain one that you didn't use to... Actually, did you use that to its advantage? I forget.
No, I did not.
Oh, then I know what I'm doing. Whenever I get to 6.
If you're talking about that one shield that I didn't get...
Curse shield. I know you got the curse shield, but I forget if you purified it.
I'd have to look back. I thought I did.
All I remember
because my goal was to learn Ultima with 2 different characters.
Yeah, I know for a fact what I'm gonna do with that when I get to that game. Is after I get Ultima on both Celeste and actually on everyone, not on everyone. The weird thing whenever I play 6 is that I give the magic only to the mages characters like mage characters like Strago, Realm, Celeste, and Terra. But when I get to that game, after I get Ultima on everyone, it's gonna be what is that shield's real name?
Paladin Shield.
Paladin Shield and Illumina are both going on Terra, and she's not gonna be touched.
Oh yeah, because the Illumina it provides like 50 of aid or something.
50 magic of aid. It is so good. Also, there we got a pretty decent thing for him, so put that on him.
I'm gonna play 6 again at some point. I hope you name the characters.
I don't. The only thing I'm going to be doing with their names is putting it so that after the first letter, they're lowercase. So then people won't randomly be screaming, Terra! In the middle of a sentence.
You should name a couple of them at least.
I'm not that kind of guy. If there's a story, I give them as there is. Also, there is the Fang, and I put Lunith back into his night phase because we are right at the end. Can be kind of a long area when you're playing it, because we're 14 minutes in, but watching it's not too bad. Either way, boss time.
The guardian of the Fang is Hechaton, or Hechaton. 6,500 HP, 4,800 XP, and 4,900 gil. He's not weak to anything, and he doesn't drop anything either.
Best strategy with my party here, at least, is to have Lunith use a God's Mind on himself so that Refia doesn't waste 2 turns hasting 2 people. Ingus uses Bio, or Quake if you want to, just because they're the highest damaging individual spells. Refia after that, I think I recommend using Arrow or something, or just outright Curing, and then just have everyone go out after that, honestly. This is a strategy you should get used to seeing, by the way. Hasting up the 2 melees, Ingus using some sort of high damage individual attack, and Refia healing. Because this is basically going to be this game's blood sword.
Is the blood sword any good in this game?
Not as good as 2, because I think they fixed like the ratio or something with it. And now we have
They sure fixed it in 4.
Oh yeah. And now we have the Earth Fang. So what I'm going to do real quick after I think I cast Exit to get out of here just because I don't want to walk back through it, is go back to those statues and use it, which I'll show on screen. And then we will head back to Dorga's house because they wanted us to meet us back there earlier. Also, I cut out of this just because this is a ridiculously long spiral sequence, not sequence. I do love the Invincible theme though. That's really good. Did your computer?
I like the design of the world map.
I think 3 probably has the best world map out of the original trilogy. Just because it actually has like different little environments going on in it and such, more so than 1 and 2 did. Even though they use a lot of the same graphics.
Oh, I see. So what can you run? Like, what kind of enemies can you run into in the forests? Are they just the same things as normal?
The exact same things as normal. Either way, this is actually the Silkus Tower. You might remember when the world was flooded, we actually saw the top of this thing. And the final area is actually in this general direction, but first I want to enter this Ancient's Labyrinth, because in here is the Earth Crystal. Time for us to get our final job classes and also fight a boss, which is a recolor of the thing we just fought. Titan, 7,800 HP, 4,400 XP, 4,500 gil, can steal a potion from him. And honestly, the exact same strategy applies here. Haste up your melee fighters, Ingus uses Bio or Quake, and Refia does whatever she needs to at the time. He can use Quake himself, though, I believe. Flare as well, I believe. I think Quake might be 3D only. I remember Dragoons being very effective against him in the 3D version.
I was gonna say something and then I completely forgot what it was. Ugh.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. If I'm doing a solo commentary, I can just like stop the recording and try to think about what I was trying to say again. But since we're doing this, we cannot do that. Onwards!
Ooh, crits. Good.
Yeah, crits are really good in this game. I'm not sure their exact formula. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just doubling the damage again. I don't really care because honestly...
Also, it looks like this guy hurts with his normal attack.
Oh yeah, he hurts. Don't get me wrong, but Refia's healing can outpace him in basically any way. And there he goes.
So is Titan a summon in this game?
No.
Well, that sucks.
I think 4 was the game that started that. But with that, we've purified the Earth Crystal, so now we get our final job classes, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, we'll get into that during the last 2 parts. But in terms of what we get from him, we do get some decent stuff. The crystal's also telling us about the Silk's Tower, concentrating about the power of light, so Xandi can try to summon his master, the Dark Cloud, from that. You're technically not supposed to do this until after Dorga's house, but I'm doing it now anyway. In terms of the jobs we got, which, by the way, I recommend, for what I'm doing, we're moving Ingus and Refia's equipment, because we're finally getting their jobs changed. We have the Warlock, Shaman, and Summoner. Warlock is a pure upgrade for the Black Mage, Shaman for White Mage, and the Summoner, well...
Stay away from the Summoner!
Stay away from the Summoner in any way
You're
you can.
a bad man!
The Summoner can use the summon effects of summons, which is a good thing, but it has the exact same spell charges as the Conjurer, and it's just not useful at all. But the Shaman and Warlock are very useful. Also look really cool. In fact, I think the Warlock was used in 8-Bit Theater.
Oh!
There's
a name. There's another name that's given to that class. It's not Warlock, it's something else.
Dark Wizard?
I know, I'd have to check, but I know that for Refias, the shaman is called the Devout.
Ah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Either way, we need to go back to Dorga's house, but as I said last part, you need to go back and get the Nautilus from where we placed it. So now we're finally over here. Let's see what they have prepared for us. And they have a cave. By the way, I hate that line there. Leave this cave and come to us. That immediately makes you think you have to leave the cave going back to that staircase, which is back to Dorga's house originally. But no, you actually have to go through the area. So I think what should have been is make it
Go
through this
through the
cave.
cave to get to us?
Basically, like, make your way out of this cave and you can find us. But thankfully, there is some decent treasure chests in here.
There are also Cyclopses that look like you just told them a terrible joke.
Yeah.
They have 750 HP, 3400 XP, 1300 gil. They're not weak to anything. They get potions stolen from them. They don't drop anything.
I recall these guys actually being kind of annoying just because they actually have some decent attack power. Yeah, that's about a fourth of her HP. Oh god, that's bad. Like I said before, I think, switching your rows in this game in battle isn't really worth it because your rows will remain switched after the battle, so you need to switch them back. Thankfully, Quake kills things pretty quickly. The biggest upgrade, by the way, with Warlocks and Shamans are their spell charge numbers, which basically almost double. As well as the Spirit and Intelligence being higher. Though sadly, now their skills are back down to 1, so I need to get them back up.
Oh, I just remembered one of the classes that we get later.
There. Oh, you know what you're talking about. Okay. Dorga's Cave, though, first off, I love this song. This is just technically Dorga and Une's theme. But I just love this tune.
I like it more in 9, honestly.
The remixes are better. I will agree with you there, but I just love the melody.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Very nice and soothing. And here we get 3 barriers. Those are basically reflect items. Now, Stars. Nemesis. 760 HP, 3400 XP, 1350 gil. Can steal a potion. They can use glare on you, which I forget what theirs does. I think theirs confuse you, which can be kind of annoying, which I think that's basically what the nightmares could do earlier. So if you're running into them in groups of 3, you could be in trouble there. But thankfully, they have such low HP that it's not really worth noting.
They also don't deal a lot of damage, it seems.
Yeah, the enemies like that, their main thing is to confuse you so you do a lot of damage to yourself.
Fair. That's like Lamia in 9.
Ugh. I hate the Lamias in 9.
And there's such a high chance you encounter one of them in that one specific room.
Yeah.
Like, my god.
And they look so weird compared to later game Lamias. By the way, now
Humbaba! We have a Humbaba who attacks Mobliz. Ah!
That's fun, Baba.
770 HP. Oh, that's right. 3400 XP, 1400 gil. Not weak to anything, doesn't drop anything. I'm thinking about 12.
Yeah,
there's a Humbaba in 12.
And then there's the Ogres. 740 HP, 3400 XP, 1250 gil. Can steal a potion. That's about it. I think they're fairly powerful in terms of physical attack, but we're also at the
I'm disappointed in you. You didn't put in a Shrek joke for Ogre.
I'm not part of that internet.
Fair enough.
I'm a donkey man. Also, heal right here because the bosses are right through here. And now Dorga and Une need to give us the Eureka key and Silk's key, but in order for us to apparently finish off the process, we need to kill them. Because they need the energy from our battles. So, we need to fight these two. Kenny?
Go ahead with Une first.
Dude, there's only Dorga right now. You fight them one at a time.
Okay, so Dorga... Oh, so it's like Leviathan and Bahamut and stuff. So you have 4,500 HP, 3,400 XP, and 4,000 gil. He's not weak to anything, and he doesn't drop anything. He also looks pretty strange.
I think... Does he have a specific pattern? I think he does.
He has really high black magic attacks. Using Dark Knights is good. Dual-wielding katanas.
I'm looking at his page right now. He has Flare, Faraga, Blizzaga, and Thundaga. So he can do some real damage at you, but you can do the same back at him. I'm sorry, Break 2, Drain, and Quake. The other set was his 3D set. I do that a lot.
Me too.
Not the worst boss. I question what the hell he's supposed to be, but he's dead.
He's just a ball of yarn. so that Refia can play with it, because she is part cat. Because she has the cat ear hood.
Yeah. And now it's time for us to fight Une, who I think is actually the more difficult of the two. 4,500 HP, 4,000 XP, 4,200 gil. Can steal a potion, and it can use Blizzard, Wall, and White Wind, which I think recovers her HP a certain amount. But she also has a very specific pattern she tends to follow in the NES version of Tornado, Reflect, Tornado, Snowstorm. I believe Jump is very good against her in terms of damage, but physical attacks are also just the main way to go. The main challenge with her is that you're supposed to fight her after Dorga, so your HP will be lowered. I believe in the DS remake they made her a bit more interesting. The fact I think she can use like protect and haste on herself.
Oh, so she's like a suited up Ashura.
Yeah, but here it's nothing too bad. In fact, I think I just kill her right there. Yeah, I do.
Good.
Relatively easy boss.
So were they monsters in disguise or something, or?
Well, the thing is, they were never human to begin with. They just have like a human form. And now they're dying, but in their last breaths, they're going to give us the Silk's key to open up the Silk's Tower, and the Eureka key to open up the way to Eureka, which we'll be tackling that, I think, next part? Yeah, next part.
Ooh. I think this is one of the better, like, death scenes.
Yeah, because you actually get to know these guys, because they've been here for about half the game at this point.
Well, also, you don't just have to sit there and listen to this death theme, you know?
Yeah, but we could head on over to the Silk Tower to do a story, but there are 2 more side quests to handle back at the floating continent. When you find that, go back to the cross-shaped thing below Dalug and fly west. But with that,
side quest.
We're going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 10, we're heading back home to do some stuff before heading off towards the final area. See you guys then.
Bye-bye. See you next time.